We've covered former Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard so many times on this channel. I swear we could drop a full Netflix series at this point. And just when you think the saga might finally calm down, boom, she's back, starring in another episode straight out of the corruption cinematic universe. The latest twist? She walked into court, stayed stone cold silent, and pulled the classic stunt, pleading the fifth. And no, this wasn't just a footnote. This is what it looks like when someone stalls while their whole empire collapses. Welcome to Chapter 97 of How Not to Be a Public Servant. Here's the setup. Tiffany Henyard, former mayor of Dalton, part-time township supervisor, and full-time chaos distributor, had to show up in court yesterday. Why? Because when watchdog groups asked her the simplest of questions, like where's the money, she vanished. Poof. Ghosted, like ducking out of a bad Tinder date. The group pushing the lawsuit? Edgar County Watchdogs. If you followed this channel, you know them well. They've been exposing her mess for years. This time, they sued the village of Dalton, accusing her administration of flat-out ignoring Freedom of Information Act requests. And FOIA isn't optional. It's the law. That law guarantees the public the right to know what their government is doing. But instead of respecting it, Henyard's team acted like it didn't exist. And here's the kicker. The watchdogs weren't even asking for anything wild. Just the basics. Receipts, credit card statements, meeting notes. Simple stuff. But instead of handing them over, her administration pulled the legal version of new phone. Who dis? Like accountability was beneath them. So the judge stepped in, ordered Tiffany to appear in person, since she'd already been held in contempt for blowing off state transparency laws. And when she finally did show her face in court, her lawyer tried the oldest trick in the book. Spin. Claimed Tiffany couldn't remember, that things were too chaotic. Chaotic, by the way, because of her. And look, I'm no lawyer, but even I can tell she's cooked. Staying silent might be legally smart, but if you're all about transparency, why not just say, I don't have the files? Instead, she did the same thing she's done before, pleaded the fifth. Back when she was still straddling both titles as mayor and township supervisor, her attorney, Brenly, gave her the same advice. And sure, any decent lawyer tells you to protect yourself. She's no longer in office, and yes, she's got the right to stay silent. But let's not play dumb. Pleading the fifth screams one thing. Telling the truth could land you in serious trouble. Because here's the reality. Nobody pleads the fifth over a missing receipt or a mix-up in the calendar. You do it when the truth has teeth, when it can bite back and rip your career or your freedom to shreds. And with all the shady finances, the missing money, the bizarre transactions, Henyard knows one wrong word could blow the whole thing wide open. That's why she locks her lips. But here's the wild part. This isn't a murder trial. Nobody's asking her to confess to some grand crime on the spot. This is about credit card statements, public records, the most basic government transparency there is. If she had nothing to do with it, she could have said that plain and simple under oath. Instead, she hid behind the fifth, which only tells us one thing. The truth itself is dangerous to her. And that's the bigger question. What's buried in those documents that has her so desperate to stay silent? Why all the dodging, the stalling, the legal gymnastics, if it's really just confusion? Unless it's not. Unless she knows exactly what went down. Unless speaking it out loud would tear the mask off completely. This isn't about embarrassment. This is about survival. Seriously, these are just credit card records. Nobody asked her to reveal state secrets or tell us what's locked in Area 51. But the dysfunction? Oh, it's alive and well. Her administration ran like some bizarre mashup of Parks and Rec and a Quentin Tarantino movie. This is the same woman who once stood at a board meeting, waved random papers in the air claiming a program was canceled, and never produced actual proof. So when the courts later said, all right, let's see that evidence, her answer was basically, nah. And it only spiraled from there. Because while that hearing was underway, the judge casually dropped a bomb, yet another lawsuit. Yep, added to the pile. At this point, Tiffany Henyard has so many legal cases circling her name, you could launch an entire YouTube channel just to track them. The newest one, it doesn't just drag her in. It names the entire village of Dalton, plus the police and fire commissions. And when she was asked about it, Tiffany swore she didn't even know it existed, which honestly might be true with this many lawsuits. She probably needs a spreadsheet just to keep track. But that's the game. That's how she moves. Her whole defense strategy isn't even legal anymore. It's spiritual. She's ghosting accountability like it's a lifestyle. Call it what it is, a stall tactic. She's pressing pause on a story she knows ends badly, hoping the audience forgets to hit play again. And with the FBI reportedly digging into public funds and political retaliation, pleading the fifth isn't just her safest option. It might be her only one. This isn't fear of speaking. This is survival mode on a collapsing tower of reckless choices. And what did Tiffany do after court? Oh, it gets crazier. She hopped on Facebook Live like she'd just walk a red carpet. You'd never know she was fresh out of a courtroom for contempt and stonewalling. Not a single word about FOIA requests. Not a single mention of lawsuits. No explanation of why she was even there. Instead, she treated it like a victory lap, smiling, thanking supporters, dropping prayer hands, teasing a book tour, like she was the star of an inspirational sports movie, not someone dodging subpoenas. According to her, the day was a total win, a success. I don't know what alternate universe she lives in, but that live stream, a masterclass in delusion. She kept blaming haters, acting like this was all about her being the first suit mayor. No, Tiffany, people aren't coming for you because you're powerful. They're coming because you ran your office like a personal ATM. And for all the chatter about her daughter, her dad, her next chapter, not once did she explain why she pled the fifth. The silence was the loudest part. And then the book. Let's talk about this book. Keith Freeman once joked that Tiffany didn't even do emails. Now she's dropping a memoir. What's in it? Chapter 7, How to Dodge FOIA Requests. Chapter 12, How to Treat Public Records like Junk Mail. If she can't testify under oath in court, how is she suddenly ready to spill it? All in a paperback? This isn't transparency. It's PR. A stunt to rewrite her narrative before the next legal hammer drops. Remember, she had her shot to tell her story during re-election. She swore she had the receipts. She swore she could prove her innocence. But those receipts? Still missing. Not on podcasts, not in interviews, not even in live streams. She had chance after chance to clear her name and never delivered. So why should anyone believe this book will be different? Is it going to cover the disappearing files? The retaliation? The suspicious contract of friends? Or will it just be another, they hated me because I was first? Sob stories sprinkled with motivational quotes. You can't say you're being silenced when you're live streaming daily. You can't claim you're ready to tell your truth in a book while you're pleading the fifth in court. Only one of those is real, and we all know which one. Let's be clear, this isn't about honesty. This is about controlling the story. It's a PR stunt, not a confession. And yeah, if she actually publishes it, I'll read it. Most people won't, but I will. And let's be honest, she's not write it herself. It's ghostwritten. But if it drops this summer, it's going straight on my shelf. Still, between the lawsuits, the federal probes, and the growing outrage, this saga is nowhere near over. That live stream wasn't transparency. It was damage control. And let's be real, Tiffany looked relieved just to walk out of that courtroom without cuffs. A lot of people thought she'd leave in handcuffs. So that little victory speech, that was political code for I'm fine, while everything burned behind her. If Tiffany Henyard had nothing to hide, she wouldn't go live with prayer emojis. She'd go live with evidence. This isn't spiritual warfare. It's legal warfare. The judge even gave her an easy out, submit an affidavit saying, I don't have the records. Basically the legal equivalent of a shrug. For now, that saved her. But Dalton's residents already played their hand. They voted her out. The rest is in the court's lap. And the clock? Still ticking. Because let's not forget the whispers, the Vena contracts, the sweetheart deals, the public money that may have been misused. Some of it is already under federal review. And if the FBI digs deeper, they don't stop until they've got the whole picture. This isn't just another headline. It's a full-blown saga. A slow, messy unraveling of one of the wildest local government collapses in recent memory. Every court filing, every leak, every live stream strips back another layer. So yeah, buckle up, because this ride isn't over. And let me ask you, would you actually read a Tiffany Henyard book? Because I would. She may never finish it, but what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.